Last time on Dave 2018.
Adam, what's up? The car's having brake issues? Does he know what the problem is? He can't figure it out. What? I mean, I gotta return the car on Monday, and I can't afford to rent the car again. Yeah, I know. We'll figure something out. Alright, thanks. Yep. Bye. Damn it.
And now, the continuation. My life, as it exists now, is a mixture of bad luck, bad decisions, and the occasional prolonged, depressive funk. My self-image oscillates between this.
You can pull it together. You can do it, Dave. You are the man. You are the Corminator.
And this.
You are pathetic.
Anxiety and depression go hand in hand, like the worst couple ever. For me, I'm not sure when it starts. Does it start with depression? I consider myself high functioning. I go to work. I do what's absolutely necessary even at my worst. But maybe that's not necessarily true, because I do tend to ignore things I shouldn't be ignoring when I am feeling low. This results in me getting into deep crap, and eventually the anxiety comes. Or does it go the other direction? Does it start with anxiety burning off all my energy and eventually resulting in me getting depressed, which is when I start ignoring things, eventually leading back to anxiety, an endless, vicious cycle, and I'm not sure where it starts or ends. In my weaker moments, I often find myself wondering, will I ever do better than this? Will I ever be something more than Dunkin' Donuts Dave? Note the question is, will I, and not can I? Even in my darkest moments, I always know that I am capable of more than this. Will I overcome my codependency issues, my depression, my anxiety, the battle of my own mind? I'm always constantly getting in my own way. I am my own worst enemy. I won't lie. There are times where I consider just giving up the fight. Just accepting that this is the best that I'm ever going to do. But then I lay eyes on my daughter. She is my motivation. She is the reason that I keep fighting. I want to do better for me so that I can do better for her. She, along with my friends, is what keeps me from tumbling into the abyss, from tumbling into the depths of hopelessness and despair. She is what shows me that even in the darkness, there is still light.
Yeah, hi.
My name is Dave, and I was just looking at the car you had on sale. I was kind of interested if there were any major issues. There's smoke coming out of the engine, and you don't know why. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't sound too promising. Transmission problems. The car doesn't drive at all. Battery's dead. Okay. Yeah, alright. So no brake lights, a transmission problem. The battery is dead. There's an oil leak. Is the partridge in a pear tree broken too? Yeah, never mind. Thanks. This is really frustrating.
My car search, to put it mildly, was not going very well. Still, I had the car rental for a little while longer, and I decided to take advantage of it.
Did you think I'd hurt her?
Squeeze through it tight.
No, I don't want to squeeze her.
So we're gonna go to the Hartford Science Museum today. Science things. I think I saw a turtle. I don't know. There's some animals there.
I don't know. Some turtles walk slow.
Yes, turtles do walk slow. Rabbits go fast, turtles slow.
What?
Rabbits fast, turtles slow.
I have to be the turtle because I watch.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's go.
So off to the science center, me and my daughter went. I couldn't get her into the actual science part of the museum, but she seemed to have a fun time playing. And I guess the fact that she had fun was really all that mattered.
You have to stand back to us. There you go. See, what do you do? What? You have to roll it up.
After the weekend with my daughter was over, it was time to turn in the rental. Adam came and got me from the rental place, and together we went and got Stacy to go have dinner. It was a commiseration party of sorts. And now the era of me having to walk everywhere began. I had spent too much money on the rental, on the premise that I was going to Maryland to get the car. And now that that was no longer an option, I no longer had the funds to buy a decent, or even remotely decent car. I was possibly going to have to wait a paycheck or two. If this wasn't what rock bottom looked like, I had no interest in experiencing rock bottom. From my perspective, the only way things managed to get worse is if I were literally homeless and or dead.
Another day in paradise.
Welcome to Duncan!
I'll take a new life, a new car, a new job, and baby bump.
Yeah, me too.
This new situation hardly made me feel better about myself. And it made everything that much more complicated. If I wanted to go to the store, it was an hour and a half walk, or a $30 Uber charge, one way. Unless I wanted to bother a friend, of course. I spent the majority of my time in two locations, either at home or at my job. Whether I was working or not. Sometimes I had company. And sometimes I was just on my own. After a while of indulging in my favorite activity of feeling bad about myself, I finally came out of it a little bit, and I started asking myself, Dave, do you enjoy living like this? Because you can do better. So why don't we just do it? Let's start making things happen. I got my groove back just in time to take another hit.
Wait a second. Why is my account negative $277? Why? Why? Why?
Why? The car rental place has decided to charge me an additional $377. They didn't bill me, they just straight up took it out of my account. I called them up to show them who was boss. It turned out to be them. This was another pretty epic setback. I might as well have set my paycheck on fire for all the good it was going to do me. While I was taking my hits and engaging in another fruitless car search with my friends, I also found time still to take my daughter places with the help of Adam and Stacy. Such as a petting zoo at the Hartford Civic Center.
Hand and put your hand like this. Put your hand flat out.
Hey, what? He's the only one that gets a high?
He's the only one that matters.
I got a high.
Let's see if you get a high Stacy on the back. No high Stacy?
Go ahead.
What is that?
Oh, do you smell something over here?
Are you like intentionally now?
Julia, what are you about to do? Which one? Hi, Julia. like it?
And then, the very next weekend, was a carnival. And at this carnival, Julia had a chance to make a new friend, Inhalia.
Well, one of them did anyway.
Let me tell you a story. A story as old as time, really. Boy meets girl. Boy and girl talk off the hook for 3 days. And then when it's finally time to go on a date, the girl disappears. Boy assumes she lost interest. But that turns out not to be the case, as boy learns a year later. Her soul is a wounded one, and so is his. Truth be told, he is surrounded by wounded souls, those who cover up their pain with smiles and laughter, very much like his own wounded soul. Knowing that her disappearance had nothing to do with him, he tries again. He gets close. It seems very promising, and then she disappears again. He assumes that's the end of the story, but that turns out to be not quite the case.
Damn, the car's here. I probably shouldn't go to Subway. I should probably go. No. I should go to Subway. No. Dave, this is silly. You should just go in there and get a sub. Come on.
And that's how Crystal re-entered the picture. I have no idea if this will go any better than the last couple of times I've tried this. But I do know that I really do like her, and that I sure hope it will. And finally, after 3 months of car searching, victory finally arrived. I finally landed a car in a Buick LeSabre 1998.
Cheers.
Well, you're not very pretty. Much to look at. Much like myself. The world underestimates us. Hell, I'll go as far as to say the world doesn't believe in us. But you see, you and I, we're gonna do great things together. We are gonna turn this whole thing around. And as for you, you are on notice.